guys, welcome to another episode of The Girl Who Talks Sports with me, Sam Cardona, and thank you guys all for listening today. As usual, we have a great show lined up today, and if you are listening on any of your podcast apps, and if you didn't know, we are on YouTube. The Girl Who Talks Sports is the YouTube channel. Hello to YouTube if you are watching. Basically, YouTube is just the place where I upload full episodes of the podcast, but it's also me recording, so it's a fun little extra thing if you would rather watch than just listen. So that's an opportunity for you guys to watch instead of listen. But as per usual, don't forget to subscribe and follow Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, YouTube, any of those things. I mean, I'm getting so tired plugging it, but I really appreciate you guys who do that. And also don't forget to follow the podcast on Twitter, TGWTS Podcast, and follow it for updates, funny stuff, funny tweets, pictures, videos, all that good stuff. So before we get into today's episode, and speaking of appreciation and stuff, I have some fun things to share with you guys. Because today, my friend Amber, who was my college roommate all 4 years of college and my very, very, very good friend, drove down to me to socially distantly give me my birthday gift, which was so sweet of her, and I have to share with you guys what her birthday gift to me was because it is podcast related. So first things first, the shirt that I am wearing right now, and if you aren't watching on YouTube, you can't see it, but I have posted it on my Twitter, and I will show you guys right now. So the shirt that I am wearing right now to record is the cutest shirt I've ever seen. So I'll just show you guys. It says, "I'm pretty sure you're going to love my podcast." Let's wait. I'm pretty sure you'll love my podcast. That's what it is. I'm pretty sure you'll love my podcast. And it is the cutest shirt ever. And I told her when she gave it to me this morning that I would wear it while I recorded this week's episode. So I'm wearing it. Thank you, Amber. And also, she gave me something else. So, again, if you're not watching on YouTube, I will explain it to you, but you can see it on YouTube. And the bag that she gave it to me in says, "I hope you have a fun, fantastic, sports-filled birthday," which is so cute because if you guys make it to the end of all of my episodes, I always say, "I hope you all have a fun, fantastic, sports-filled day." It's like my little tagline. And this, I'm gonna cry. It's so sweet. This other thing that she gave me is a beautiful, clear photo frame. Here, I'll try and get it in the shot. Of my album artwork. It says, The Girl Who Talks Sports. It's got my little orange foam finger. I'm trying to get a good shot of it on YouTube so you guys can see it. It is the sweetest gift I've ever gotten. She brought it all the way down here because she didn't want to mail it and have it break in the mail. So I feel like I'm accepting an award holding this thing. When she gave it to me, I was standing on the stoop of my house, and holding it makes me feel like I'm getting an award. So hopefully this is good karma that one day this podcast will be much bigger than it is now. But that is this lovely gift that Amber gave me. Thank you so much, Amber. I really, really appreciate it. And this has inspired both me and my mother to create a backdrop for the YouTube videos. So hopefully by next week we'll have a bit of a backdrop, something nicer than just this white door that's behind me. And yeah, so I had to share that with you guys, which it's so sweet, so wonderful of my very, very good friend to do this for me. So I'm going to try and there. You can see it. I'm going to use that as a semi backdrop right now. I got to shift everything over. But, so I just had to share that with you guys. I've been rambling now for 5 minutes, but that is where we're at right now. So, without further ado, let's get into today's episode about some very interesting things that we are going to discuss today. So, first things first, we have a quick little update from the NBA bubble. And you might be thinking, oh, Sam, that's fantastic. You're finally going to talk about the NBA and the playoffs that are happening. No, I will not be talking about that. There's a much more powerful, impactful story happening in the NBA bubble right now that's going to be discussed. And that is the fact that Jimmy Butler is selling coffee out of his hotel room. Yes, Jimmy Butler brought his French press with him to the NBA bubble. And obviously it seems that Disney hotel coffee, NBA bubble coffee, is not cutting it for some people. So Jimmy is selling coffee out of his bedroom from his French press, and he has this whiteboard. I will put an image of it on the YouTube video right now. The whiteboard basically says that everything is $20. Everything is $20, which is so funny because everyone's like, oh, I'll just get the large because the large is the best thing. If the small is $20 and the large is $20, then I'll just, get the large. But the fantastic thing out of this, and the most business-oriented man, it seems, in the NBA, is that you're still paying $20 for coffee. Oh my god, it is hilarious. So, it says at the top, Big Face Coffee. Again, small, medium, large, they're all $20. Cash only. And also it says there's no IOUs. So nobody's coming up to Jimmy Butler and saying, like, listen, I'll give you $20 tomorrow if you give me my coffee now. He's like, no. You give me $20 now, and I will give you your coffee. What's fantastic about this is that he's got smiley faces on it, which is lovely. He's got smiley faces all over this whiteboard, and there's a lot of different options. So he's got 9 different options for coffee. Latte, pour over, cappuccino, Americano, espresso, red eye, mocha, macchiato, and cafe au lait. Light? I don't know, that's French. I can't speak French. So some fancy thing at the end there. This is just stellarly amazing. Oh my god, like, what an entrepreneur this man is. This is the smartest thing that you could possibly do. And these guys are giving him $20 per cup of coffee. Like, there you go. Like, why not? This man is making extra money. Cash only, at that point, I don't think that you need to be paying taxes on that. I don't know how that works in terms of the taxes and tax evasion. I don't know how money works. But it's just absolutely totally amazing. And honestly, if I do say so myself, I have some experience in this field as well. So when I was younger, I used to do a lemonade stand at my house in Martha's Vineyard almost every single year. It was a way that I made a couple extra bucks to, as a kid, you don't really need that much money. So I made a couple extra bucks down at the vineyard selling lemonade, and like 50 cents a cup. People come, I made like $20. And that for me, I was like, oh my god, $20 is this amazing thing. But there was one year, one very, very special year. I think I was 13. This was like one of the last times I did it. And I was doing it with my little cousins. And so down the street from our house on the corner is a church. And there was a wedding happening. And these groomsmen trucked themselves up the street to my nice little lemonade stand. And they were like, hey, we'll give you $1 a cup. Like, we'll just keep coming up here, just giving you $1 a cup. Like, it's totally cool. Like, we'll do this. And I was like, okay, I'll give you lemonade for $1 a cup. Like, make some money, you know? These men had like flasks of vodka and they were making vodka lemonade so that they could get trashed at this wedding. And they were coming up the street and buying my lemonade to mix with their vodka to get trashed at this wedding. I made $60 that day. And again, I'm 13 years old. $60 was like a brand new sweatshirt for me or something like that. So this was amazing. So little fun personal story there. I relate to Jimmy Butler's experience here. He's making bank off of this, and he was like, you know what? You can bring your family portraits. You can bring your personal items with you to the NBA bubble. Me? I am bringing my French press. Okay? My French press is going to make my life so much easier in this NBA bubble. I'm not going to drink that jank coffee from Disneyland Resorts or whatever. I'm going to make my own. French press, I must say, is some very, very good coffee. It's not as bitter. And I would consider myself an avid coffee drinker. I drink coffee every single day. Dunkin' over Starbucks. Come at me in the comments if you really want to. Dunkin' will always be better than Starbucks. And, yeah. So, percolators are actually also very good. But French press, Jimmy Butler has got it going on. He knows what he's doing. And people are paying for it, and that's the important part. Why can't I speak ever? Will we be discussing the NBA playoffs? Maybe at some point, but not today. Today is not that day. Today we are talking about Jimmy Butler and his incredibly entrepreneurial mind that this man has. So the NBA playoffs, we can push those to another day. Today is Jimmy Butler Day, okay? So that is what's going on with that. Now, let's get into our first segment on the show, and my favorite segment on the show, Tea Time. Tea Time is my favorite segment on the show because we delve into the hot, steamy gossip of the sports world, and this week is something, let me tell you. Okay, oh my god, I just almost knocked that over. I just almost knocked over my precious gift. Okay, I have to not talk very largely with my hands because that's the big problem. Tea Time this week goes to, I don't know what I'm saying. The tea time for this week has to do with Kemah Silverand. And if you haven't heard of Kemah Silverand, I'm not surprised at all. And if you have, it's because you know about what I'm about to talk about. So Kemah Silverand is an undrafted rookie out of Oklahoma State. Seattle Seahawks picked him up. It was some good stuff. He was living his best life. And then he decided to do something extremely selfish of himself. Just want to take a sip of water there because this is some hot tea. He brought in, well, I should say he didn't. He tried to sneak a woman into the team's hotel. And not only did he try to do that, he or she, I don't know whose idea it was, the woman dressed herself up in Seattle Seahawks gear to make it seem like she was a team player. When in fact, obviously, Kemah was bringing her into the hotel for personal reasons, right? Personal reasons are going on here. And obviously, in the midst of Corona and this pandemic going on, outside people are not permitted to come into the team's hotel. This is the same thing that was going on with the NBA bubble, which I remember my tea time a few weeks ago was someone tried to bring an Instagram model into the NBA bubble and ruin it for everyone, basically. So this guy tries to do this. Obviously, the Seahawks find out and immediately cut him from the team. And if that is not a just, if that doesn't make a statement to you, if that doesn't make things extremely clear about all this, then I don't know what will make it clear to you then. This guy was an undrafted rookie. Undrafted. The Seattle Seahawks were like, you know what? We're going to give this guy a chance. Also, I heard that his signing bonus was $2,000, which I think is the lowest amount of a signing bonus given to an undrafted rookie this year. I believe it's just this year. But still, like, obviously you are being given the chance here to play on an NFL team, and you screwed up, dude. You really screwed up just because you wanted a lady friend with you in the facility. Oh, also, just to throw it out there, COVID or not, pandemic or not, you are not permitted to bring outside people into your team hotels or your team facility or wherever it is that you are during training camp. That is not allowed, even if there isn't a pandemic happening in the world. So, this whole thing is just perplexing. Extremely, extremely perplexing that you couldn't wait. You can't, like, really? Was it really that much? Did you really have to risk it all for this woman, sir? Kemah Silverand? And now people are never going to know you for whatever amazing football you might have done. Now everybody's going to know you as the guy that got cut from the Seahawks because you needed to have a lady friend over. So, just like, seriously? You really? I can't understand how certain people's minds work sometimes. I'm like, okay, let's like put this into perspective for a second, right? Not only are you being selfish by bringing somebody into the facility that you're not supposed to, like yada, 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 think about why you're not supposed to do that in the time right now with COVID. God forbid this woman is sick. You know, you can be 2 weeks, up to 2 weeks, you can have COVID and not know about it, right? Let's say, God forbid, this woman has COVID, brings it into team facility. This guy does, has some relations with her. He has it now and gives it to the entire team, despite, the precautions that they're taking and everything like that. You're still practicing in this contact sport, right? And he'd give it to the entire Seattle Seahawks NFL team. You're really going to be that guy? You're going to be that guy that gave an entire NFL team, or maybe some people from an NFL team, corona. Could you imagine being the guy that gives, like, Russell Wilson corona? Also, that man just had a baby. He's the last person who should be getting corona. Can you imagine, like, the guilt that I would have if that were me? I don't know. That's just me. But could you imagine being the person that comes into the facility, really needed to do whatever with a woman, and you give the team corona? Just like, where is your mind processing here? Where is your frontal lobe? That's the most important part. You need to develop this frontal lobe. Your brain does not stop developing until like 25. All right? My brain's still developing. I think he was 21 years old or something. I don't have his age written down. But still, dude, frontal lobe development, all right? Next time, don't be so selfish. There won't be a next time, actually, because you are no longer a Seattle Seahawk. So, just be a team player for once. Like, seriously, guys. Everybody, be a team player, okay? So that's the tea for this week, is that Kemah Silverand does not have a frontal lobe. Okay. So, this next thing before we get into our segments for today's show is a bit of a debate. Is it a debate? I'm not entirely sure. I guess for some people it would be. But I actually put it up on my Instagram story. If you don't follow, this is my personal Instagram. It's Sam Cardona with 2 A's on the end. I post a lot of stuff on my Instagram story for the podcast and things like that. So I put up a poll on my Instagram story just a couple hours ago. Maybe an hour ago. About this specific thing so that I can get some feedback from some other people before I just give my opinion on it. So, Space Jam. We all know that LeBron is doing a new Space Jam movie, which we now know is called Space Jam: A New Legacy. And it has just been unveiled today what the Toon Squad's jerseys are going to look like. And I'm going to put them up on the YouTube video right now so that you guys can see a picture of it. But if you haven't seen it, if you're listening on the podcast, I would suggest looking it up, but I will describe it to you. They're like a teal blue, like a light sky blue, with the the Looney Tunes circle target that you see at the end of the Looney Tunes and also on the original Toon Squad jerseys from the Michael Jordan 1996 Space Jam. It's like that orange circle in the middle. And on this jersey, though, it's kind of, I would say the center of the circle is sitting on LeBron's hip. And it, kind of comes out. It's both on the shorts and the jersey. And, I don't know if I'm biased or not, but I don't like it. I do not like it at all. And the original Toon Squad jerseys are so iconic. They're the white with the circle in the back with the Toon Squad written over it in the Looney Tunes font, which I think looks really good. The font is also different on LeBron's. It's more of a blocky cartoon as opposed to the more script. And they're white with the red, white, and blue border around the neck and the arms. I think they're chef's kiss beautiful. The band of the shorts are like a thick band. And Michael Jordan, of course, wears it so nice. It looks so good on him. And again, I don't know if I'm biased. I don't know if it's because, I was born the year that Space Jam came out. But I grew up watching Space Jam. I've seen it. I don't even know how many times I've seen it. So I don't know if this new generation of kids who have now kind of grown up with LeBron would prefer them instead of the 90s one, which is fine. But I decided to ask people from my Instagram story, and so let's check in. I haven't even looked at the results yet. And again, I've only had it up for a little while, so we're not going to have a large array of people doing it yet. But let's see. All right. So as of right now, it is 2 p.m. on Tuesday. 86% of the voters have voted for Michael Jordan and 14% have voted for LeBron. So, and if you don't believe me, I will show you right now on the YouTube video. I'm trying to get to, here we go. So here is the results. This is on my Instagram story. Again, I don't know if I'm preaching it to a generation of people that are like me that would prefer the old jerseys. I thought that they were going to kind of take the version of the old jersey and make it a little bit more modern and more kind of, new and stuff, but keep the white, maybe change the Toon Squad font up a little bit, make it a little different. I thought they were going to keep it more, but they have just completely changed it. Again, if you have not seen it, I would suggest looking it up so that you can visualize what I'm talking about. And then I looked up some articles to see if people had made like opinion pieces to say like, oh, this is what I think about it, or this is how I'm going to, whatever. I looked up some uh, articles. And from what I saw an article, I forget where it was. I think it was SB Nation, but I'm not positive, that there were some tweets from people who mentioned how they feel about it, and I have not seen one positive tweet yet. Let me just say that. I've not seen one positive tweet yet from someone saying that they like these jerseys more than the old ones. Someone said that it really bothered them that the circle, since it's both in the jersey and the shorts, that the circle of the Tune target does not line up with both the jersey and the shorts, which after they said it, I was like, oh, that is so bothersome. It's so bothersome. The jersey target like comes out wider, and then the shorts one comes in a little bit. Like, it doesn't line up, which is, for me, I did not like that at all. And then this person also didn't seem to like it. Somebody else said it looked like a Fortnite skin, which, to be completely honest with you, I'm not entirely sure what that means. I do not play video games other than Animal Crossing, New Horizons, and Lego Harry Potter. So I have no idea how Fortnite works. I don't know how to play Fortnite. I don't know anything about Fortnite, really, other than like the weird dances that little kids do. But if this epitome is Fortnite, then I don't even want to deal with it. Again, it just does not compare to the old. But there's always, that idea that people are always going to love the original more than the sequel. And again, that's not always true, but people my age and a little bit older are going to like Michael Jordan and his version of Space Jam and his jersey more than LeBron and this second movie that's coming out. I guess I would have to ask little kids, but I don't know many little kids to ask about it. I don't know. If you have a little kid, if you're listening and you have a little kid and you want to ask them, like, hey, which one of these jerseys do you like more, or anything like that, like, I'd love to know. I really would love to know. My DMs on Twitter are open, TGWTS podcast. And it's, I don't like it. Not a fan. Not a fan at all. And again, I might be preaching to the choir here. Everybody who's listening might be like, yeah, Sam, we get it. We don't like it either. But maybe if you do like it, I would love to hear your side. I just have not yet seen a positive tweet or comment or anything about LeBron's jersey yet. So I'd like to see if there are people that actually like it, or if it's just completely just a bust. I would love to see it. All right, let's get into our segments for today's show, because I don't need to rant on about how much I don't like LeBron's Space Jam jerseys anymore. So let's get into our first segment of the show, or I should say our second segment on the show, which is our Let's Talk About It segment. And this week, our Let's Talk About It segment is an interesting topic that I definitely want to give the debate of both sides and kind of work it out as I explain it to you guys. So there was actually, let me explain it this way. Fernando Tatis Jr., who is a 21-year-old shortstop on the San Diego Padres, was versing the Texas Rangers on Monday night, I believe it was the 17th. And his count was 3-0, 3 balls, no strikes, and a perfect fastball was thrown down the middle to him, and he hit a grand slam. I'll give you some more context here. He leads the MLB in home runs this season. He has 11 home runs in 23 games. Their team was up by 7 points already. It was 10-3 Padres, and he had already also hit a homer that night already. Now, the big debate here is that both the opposing manager from the Rangers and his manager both are very, very upset with him that he hit a grand slam on a 3-0 count. Now, so this whole thing is, as I saw it explained in an article, again, I think it was SB Nation. I read a lot of SB Nation. They refer to this as a very baseball thing to do, to get upset over something like this. And honestly, I personally, on my side of this, I understand the other side, but I think that this is very silly to get upset over. So they ended up winning 14-4. There is no mercy rule in baseball. There have been times where baseball can run up to like 20-something runs. Like, sometimes they will play until somebody wins. There is no mercy rule. So the Texas Rangers manager, Woodward, again, was very upset, and I understand him saying, like, dude, it's the 8th inning, you're up by 7, it's a 3-0 count, and you hit a grand slam. And you also lost the game. I totally understand how you could be upset about something like this. Totally makes sense on the other side. But what doesn't make sense to me is that on the managerial side for the Padres, his manager, who is Jace Tingler, is upset with him and would have rather him take the pitch than to hit a grand slam. And he was given the take sign. His manager gave him the sign to take the pitch. But instead, obviously, Tatis hit the grand slam. Now, if you think about it, I would say like 90% of the time, that's a number I just made up. I don't know if that's actually true or not. But 90% of the time, if you have a 3-0 count, the pitch that comes down the middle is the next pitch. Like, a lot of times, the pitcher will be like, okay, like, I can't walk this guy. I have to throw a fastball down the middle. That's what's usually going to come. And Tatis thought, okay, this guy's going to throw a fastball down the middle. If I hit it right on the sweet spot, I could get a grand slam right now. It makes sense. That's what you're supposed to do to win a game. Hit the ball, score points. It's quite simple, actually. That's what you're supposed to do to win a baseball game. Hit the ball, run, and score points. And the best thing that you could do is hit a home run. And the even better thing to do is to hit a home run when the bases are loaded. He literally did the best thing. He scored the most points in one hit that you can in the game of baseball. You can, in one hit, the most points you can get is 4 points. And that's what he got. So why his manager is upset with him because he scored more points for his team does not make sense to me. Again, maybe they're a little upset because he didn't follow the sign. He was supposed to take the pitch, but he saw the opportunity. He hit the ball. He raised his stats. He raised the team's stats. And his team scored 4 more points to literally guarantee them a win. Let me just say something also. Their win probability in the 8th inning being 10-3, so 10-3, that gave them a win probability of 99.6%. Now you're saying that's basically 100. But you know what it's not? 100. There is still a small percentage, very small, but still possible, that the Rangers could have come back in the 9th inning and beat them. I mean, they did score 1 more point, but I'm sure that a grand slam discouraged them a little bit. The Rangers definitely could have come back and win that game. Who knows? We've seen crazier things, in my opinion. But I just don't understand why we're getting so pissed off. And also, they're like, hey, there's an unwritten rule that you're not supposed to swing on 3-0. Okay, but it's unwritten. You're not supposed... There's no rule that's like, hey, if it's 3-0, you automatically have to not swing, and odds are your count is just automatically 3-1. Okay, so you take a pitch, and then then he throws another good pitch that you swing at that you can't hit. Now it's 3-2. Now you have a full count. Now, like, and listen, I'm no professional baseball player. I played some high school softball. I understand that, like, odds are that fastball's coming down the middle. I think I have swung on 3-0 before, to be quite honest with you, and gotten a hit. So I just don't get it. And I have a tweet here that I think exemplifies my feelings about this. So the Athletic MLB tweeted out, Fernando Tatis Jr. smacked a grand slam on a 3-0 count with a big lead, leading to criticism from both managers. What do you think about this unwritten rule in baseball? And this guy, Johnny Bench, tweeted about this, and he said, so you take a pitch. Now you're 3-1. Then the pitcher comes back with a great setup pitch, 3-2. Now you're ready to ground out into a double play. Everyone should hit on 3-0. Grand slams are a huge stat. And it makes sense. Again, you hit the ball, you score the points. That's the point of baseball. To defend, you have to make sure that you catch the ball or you make the play. But there's no play to make if the ball is not inside the park. A concept. A crazy, crazy concept. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Again, I understand the side that your manager, your opposing manager is just like, hey, like, you shouldn't do that. You're already up. And, like, you're salty. You're salty. It makes sense. I would be salty. But for your manager to say, I would have him rather take the pitch, you discourage him to the side and say, listen, next time, take my sign, okay? And the guy goes, oh, okay, I'll take your sign next time. That's it. That's it. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. Oh. It's so dumb. I think that absolutely I agree with that guy, Johnny Bench. If you get a good pitch on 3-0, like, why not? Swing the bat. If you swing and you miss on a strike, it was going to be a strike anyway if you didn't swing. 3-1. Okay, cool. I'm going to just rant on about this. Again, if you have thoughts, if you have opposing thoughts about this, I'd love to hear them. But it just doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, tweet of the week. Let's do our tweet of the week for this week. And this week, oh my goodness, I lost my mind. Absolutely lost my mind with this tweet. So, if you didn't know, the rapper Drake put out a new song and a video. And if you watched the video, OBJ is in it. Odell Beckham Jr. is in it. And he's throwing, in part of the music video, he goes to throw the ball to Drake, who is doing a bit of route running. And in this route running, let me just say, it's not good. It's not good. It's really bad route running, and a lot of people have been giving Drake a lot of crap about it because it's really funny. It really is. So, with that context in mind, our tweet of the week goes to Sean Payton. And, oh my god, did I delete the tweet off my phone? Where'd it go? Oh no, here it is. So, Sean Payton put up this tweet. And it says, let's stick with God's plan. And if you don't get it, it's like, there's a Drake song called God's Plan. And Sean Payton came out and just gassed, totally bodied Drake to say, dude, just, like, stick to what you're doing, man. Like, don't route run. And, but he's not wrong. He's not wrong at all. Like, it was not good route running whatsoever. Oh man, it was good. That really made me fun. Really made me laugh. I almost said it really made me funny. I hope it makes me funny. So anyway, so that is our tweet of the week this week. Sean Payton absolutely coming out here with the most fire response to that. And honestly, yeah, like, keep doing you, Sean Payton. I'm so glad that you beat Corona. I'm so proud of you. I love Sean Payton. I'm a big fan of Drew Brees and Sean Payton. Anyway, so that is our tweet of the week this week. And finally, we have our feel-good story of the week this week. And usually there have been some times where I'm like, I can't find a feel-good story this week. I can't do it. I'm being lazy. Well, I hope that this makes up for all that, because I have not one, not two, but 3 feel-good stories for you guys this week. And honestly, they all have made me so happy. So, first one is for Mr. Travis Kelce. And Travis Kelce, as well as George Kittle, both got these amazing contracts. Incredible contracts this weekend, or last weekend, for tight ends in the league. So Travis Kelce and George Kittle both got these insane contracts for being a tight end. So Travis Kelce gets all this money. And this is what he did with it. So he gets a 4-year, $57 million extension. Just incredible money. And what Travis Kelce is doing with this extension, with all this money, is that he's building in Kansas City, a building where teenagers from inner city neighborhoods can safely study STEM, which is like science basically. Like, you just got $57 million and you're going to use it to build a place for kids to study STEM? That's so great. That's so fantastic. And Travis Kelce really seems like a lovely human being. It literally was like, hey, George Kittle got a contract. And we're like, oh, Travis Kelce's probably going to get a pretty good contract too. Travis Kelce gets a contract. Minutes after he got this contract extension, he was like, listen, this is what I'm going to do with this money. We love it. We love our feel-good stories. So that's our first feel-good story. Our second feel-good story, which is something that I mentioned 2 weeks ago, is that Alex Smith is doing a lot better with his leg rehabilitation. And I said that last time we checked in with Alex Smith, he had practiced 4 days in a row with the Washington football team. Now Alex Smith is out here. He passed his physical. He's going out. He's like rejoining the football team. Like, this man. And I even caught the last 40 minutes of that E60 documentary, the Project 11 documentary, where they're talking about Alex Smith and his whole leg injury. First of all, he had 17 surgeries, and then they show the picture of what his leg looked like after he got sepsis, which is an infection in his leg from all these surgeries he was getting. He had half of a leg, from his knee to his ankle. Half of a leg. That was it. And they literally took muscle from other parts of his body and put it down there so that he can rehabilitate and still have a leg that's his own, not amputate it, not get a prosthetic leg. And now, after 21 months, I believe, he's playing football again. It's so wild. And that just made me so happy. And I'm so glad to see that Alex Smith is doing well. So that is our second feel-good story. And our third feel-good story, which I didn't have until literally right before I started recording. And I was like, one more happy story won't kill somebody. So the last feel-good story I saw on the ESPN Instagram with Jalen Hurts. So somebody named Nikki G tweeted at Jalen Hurts and said, when everyone thinks your kid's name is Jalen Hurts, because he loves Jalen Hurts and had to have a backpack with his name on it. And the picture is this woman has a blue backpack that has Jalen Hurts number 2 written on this kid's backpack, which is so sweet. But the really, really sweet part is Jalen Hurts then tweets at this woman, and her son's name is Alexander, and he said, "That's lit, Alexander. I had to get me a backpack with your name on it too. Hashtag twins." And it's the same like blue backpack with the name Alexander written on it, which is so cute. And that just made me feel really, really good and really happy, and so many feel-good stories this week. And all these feel-good stories just makes me feel so good about things, and figuring we're living in a world right now where there's so many crazy things happening. To have not just one, but 3 feel-good stories made me feel really, really good about myself. And I hope that same energy transfers over to you guys. And that's going to do it for our show this week, guys. So thank you guys all for listening to my crazy rants about things. We had a lot of ranting today. A lot of ranting. We love a good rant, though. So thank you guys all for listening this week. Don't forget to subscribe, follow Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, wherever it is that you get your podcasts from. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment on your YouTube channel, The Girl Who Talks Sports. And don't forget, so tonight, so it's Tuesday, August 18th, Hard Knocks is on tonight. So tomorrow will be a video of me on our YouTube channel reacting to episode 2 of Hard Knocks. And if you missed last week's, there is a video up right now on my YouTube channel, of me reacting to the first episode of Hard Knocks. So if you want to give that a check out before tonight's new episode, well, this episode will be out tomorrow. So either way, if you want to check it out tomorrow, you can check it out. So, and also just another quick thank you to my friend Amber for this lovely, lovely gift that I got. It's just so beautiful. And I appreciate you guys all for listening. I hope that you all have a fun, fantastic, sports-filled day. Don't forget to stay safe, wear a mask, wash your hands, and stay inside if you can. And I will see you guys all next week. Bye!